Have you ever been victimized by New Age spirituality?
We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting.
You're gonna want to listen up.
I'm Megan, an intuitive life coach and Reiki master.
I'm Ryan, a professional astrologer, and we want to show you what spirituality is by talking about what it is not.
Con artist.
Yes.
Snake oil salesman.
There are so many susceptible people out there.
And then they're tainted. They're ruined. They don't want to come back to spirituality.
We still have a lot to learn, and we will humble ourselves and learn, I think, every freaking day. This is Clairanoyance,
a podcast of spiritual interference.
Well,
everyone, buckle the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
This is your captain speaking.
Jesus Christ, we're going down.
The astrology of April is, I like to look at things from an advantageous point of view. Mm-hmm. We're going to have some lessons here, kids. But I would definitely be buckling your safety belts.
Yes. Yes. To put it lightly, yeah. This is the biggest month astrologically of the year. A couple of the biggest transits of the year are happening this month. This is like, I also am someone that wants to look on the bright side. So like, I'm not going to shy away from like the difficulties of this month for sure. But
I should probably say we said that because we just had a catch up and it was the whole like, oh shit. Oh shit. So
yeah.
You know, so that's
we're already in the mood. For sure. I've been thinking about this for a minute now. But really, I like also wanted to make a big point of like finding some light here at the same time. So it's really not all a dumpster fire. There really are good things happening too, but like, you know, pendulum swings often. Like it's just, we'll see what happens. For all I know, April will be a magical month. Like for all I know, like well, who am I? Just the astrologer. I don't. What do I know? Dude, I don't know. Okay, well, shall we just like dive into the month's theme? I think it's a kind of cool one. I really put like a lot of thought into this.
I can tell. When giants fall.
Yeah. No, but really, there's a lot to this. There is. So yeah, when giants fall. So much at play here, like symbolically speaking, of course, because that's what astrology is, a study and interpretation of symbols and planets and geometry and shit. Okay, so because it's it's the biggest, most giant month of the year astrologically, right? So makes sense. But also like say when giants fall, because there's a few things we're going to play into this. I'll like loop things in as we go along. But like there really is a feeling of like gravity. Like you're feeling the pull of gravity this month, and gravity by nature falls, right? Like things come down. So you will feel that. There can totally be a feeling this month of like feeling like things are crashing down around you. And there's a lot
to let it go. Let it go. If it comes, if it leaves, if it comes crashing down, not if, when, let it.
Yeah, let it.
Just let it go. Let it return back to Earth.
We're in eclipse season. We didn't do a March forecast. I may pump one out for like just the eclipse, just to like do something there. But like, it's eclipse season, and in eclipses in general, you kind of want to be more in a receptive state. It depends on your chart and how it's impacting you. But typically, good rule of thumb is just be receptive, allow things to come in, allow things to exit as they will. And there's not a whole lot, like you do not want to hang on too tight to things like and maintain a status quo. Like the other kind of benefit here that I'm trying to see as a benefit is that this is the month. Like you can go back to my like 2024 forecast stuff. Like this is the month where things just change. Like this is now like a threshold moment where we're not in the same energy of the past few years. There's a whole tide shift happening, and we're entering some very, very big new phases of life. April is the onset of that. Yeah. So, there's a lot of water and earth energy. These are the feminine elements and the feminine zodiac signs. And water and earth sink, they fall, they're gravity bound, right? Fire and air rise. So they're not gravity bound. So that's also why I'm saying like when giants fall here, like there's a lot of big energy and it's coming down. Um, there's also a need to know like you stay grounded. Like my kind of like secondary theme I was thinking about titling this, I don't know, was come down to earth because there are good
Cool.
things happening. This month. And like honestly, like that and I've had readings with people where I'm like, damn, you're gonna like April looks amazing for you.
You're
Dead
gonna
serious.
flourish.
Yeah, because there are like huge things happening this month. But like if you're getting a lot of good, big, empowering, confident energy, like you you could feel godly. You could feel like a giant, but that's where you need to keep your ego in check.
Oh,
Don't let the
yeah.
ego get too big. This could be a psychological giant happening, and you need to stay grounded right now. Because also, like in a storm or when things are fucking flying around you, like if you're trying to stay rooted, if you fall, you're going to at least be cushioned a little bit, right? You don't want that fall to be huge. Jack and the Beanstalk, right? That giant had a long
Hmm.
fucking way to fall from the sky. Like dead serious,
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
but you can keep yourself like on the ground
Dang, an
in a
ego hit is
patient.
no joke.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I mean, and it's like kind of the energy of like you could get humbled this month, somehow.
Ugh.
Um, for sure. Like if your ego's out of whack, like you'll get slapped down in one way or the
Mhm.
other. Not to scare everybody. So let me like
Well, let's take it in stride, guys. I mean, like,
yeah,
chances are you're listening to this and you've already been feeling it. Like there's been a
totally.
lot of loss and turmoil, in a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people's lives right now, period. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone's been like, what's going on with the stars right now? Like, oh, it's your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what this is. It's your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Macrocosm, microcosm here.
Yeah.
Um, and if you've been having a great time lately, then continue to expect great things. But again, I just think like good rules on this month, stay grounded. Please, like don't even if like magical, amazing things are happening, you don't want that swept off your feet feeling.
Get into it, get back to a place of gratitude. I think, at
Yeah.
all times, and that's a great way to stay grounded. I've been starting my day off with, I usually end my day with a gratitude journal, but I've been starting my day. That might be a good practice, staying grounded,
Yeah.
like keeping your 10 toes on the ground.
Yes. Yes. Very important. Very important. It's funny you say that too, because I've had a shit week and have not been in a space of gratitude. And this morning, not that I woke up this morning because I stayed up all night, but not for any fun reason. Don't worry, I
Mm,
was not out.
yeah.
Ryan's on a little bit of a sober kick at the moment, but I was just up. And this morning, like a couple hours before we hit record here, I was like, man, I'm not like in any sort of grateful mode. Like, what can I possibly be grateful about right now? And so that's important. I really do think that's important. It's a good
You're
good
never gonna
grounding
feel,
tool.
yeah, you're never when you're down and out, gratitude is the last thing that you're gonna want to do. Just remember that your
Hmm.
feelings are not like you have to make yourself do these things. So you
Yeah.
always have something to be grateful for. Air, oxygen,
Yeah.
the
Yep.
fact that there's the opportunity. So just remember that.
Yeah. I was grateful for the podcast. Dead serious.
Yeah.
Um, there's a story here before we kick into things that I just want to say, like a giant related story. It's kind of a cool one too. And this is where there's like honestly like a good, very positive moral to this story. Okay, so it's called The Fall of Ymir. This is Norse
Mhm.
mythology. It's kind of the genesis of Norse mythology, okay? In the beginning, there was the void. No, really, like there was like nothing, right? Like the creation of Ymir, who is a giant, like biggest giant to ever exist. It's basically like the Big Bang, the creation of Ymir. But it's sort of
Mhm.
like saying, okay, this giant kind of like came into existence from a fuck ton of fire and a fuck ton of ice. It all kind of came together and created a giant Ymir. Okay, so long story short, Ymir, other beings popped out of Ymir. He reproduced with himself. And
Asexual.
yeah. And so as these beings come around, Odin included, I know a lot of people are at least familiar with Odin. Um, But Odin was like basically born of Ymir, and Odin and his brothers noticed Ymir literally was born from chaos, born from fire and ice. And roaming the grand universe didn't give
Mhm.
a fuck about these beings, these children of his. Like there was chaos, destruction. So Odin and his brothers like decided we're gonna slay this bitch, you know? So basically the giant had a fall, quote unquote, and with this giant being killed, Odin and his brothers literally created the world from his remains, right? So the whole point was to create order from chaos. I am proud to report that quite literally in the last 2 days of the month, order is setting in very nicely, and I'm very excited about some developments happening in May. Very excited about June. Um, but April, there's the chaos and us trying to create order from it. And like my moral of the story there, honest to God, is like the fall of a giant, quote unquote. A big fall happening in your life can seem really freaking overwhelming, but in that fucking rubble, it can lead to the creation of a literal brand new world, right? Like so, the
Mhm.
whole fucking thing might need to tumble, and it literally creates a whole new life where the rest of existence can happen for you and like order can occur. So that is like the benefit if you feel like it's all crashing down right now.
Yeah. Lean in.
Lean in. Okay.
Mm. Woo
So
woo.
I'm not gonna lie, there's like so much that I wrote down. Like truly, it's almost like there's not a day this month where something like crazy is not happening, it feels like. We're not going to go super in depth into everything. But okay, let's just start with the lunations, right? A big one. April 8th. This one we got to talk about, okay? Like it's huge. This is a total solar eclipse on April 8th. It's in Aries. A total solar eclipse is big. I mean, it's a new moon eclipse, first of all, so it is a new beginning.
Do not manifest during
No.
this time with your new
Yeah.
moon manifestations. Do you
No.
understand me? Do
Yeah.
not, do not.
Although I did have a reading with someone where it was working out perfectly in her chart, and I was like, start whatever the fuck you want because like this is like great energy. I mean, we started our podcast under an eclipse, right? Like it can work. It can work. But
Well, it's
it's a
the
gamble.
exception to the rule. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the general rule of thumb here, if
Yeah.
you're not booking a reading with me to see if this works in your chart, the
Mm-hmm.
general rule is do not manifest, do not start. But
Mm-hmm.
there is a new beginning unfolding. You want to be receptive of that new path, and it's very new. It's a new moon, total solar eclipse, which is huge. I'll get into that in a second. But it's also in Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. Very, very, very big new beginning energy going on here.
Yeah.
Big, giant new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this is a very rare eclipse. You might remember what 2017 we had that one eclipse that like you could see, right? And people had the
Yeah.
eclipse
It went
glasses.
right, like right. It came right through Charleston too. Like,
Ooh. I don't remember the like path totality. I remember, I don't know, I won't get too into that, but basically that one wasn't even a total. Like that was like kind of a baby compared to this one. This is a total solar eclipse. Prior to that one in 2017, the last total one that we had that crossed the United States at least. Sorry for the international listeners. I don't know about other parts of the world, but I know the US or North America. Um, the last one was in the 70s. Prior to that, it was 100 years ago. So the next one after this won't happen until like 2044,
oh
where the
wow.
US will see an eclipse like this. So basically, April 8th, you're going to see a lot. Like, and it's passing through a mass chunk of North America. Like, a lot of states are in the path of totality, is what it's called. I'm not, but I'll still very much see it. It's going to look very close to like a total solar eclipse to me.
Yeah.
You can look up the states, look up the path of totality, April 8th. There's like 14 states it passes through. Um, and people are going to be wearing their protective eye gear. Like you're going to see all the craziness of it. I really recommend basking in that eclipse. So it's happening exactly like the
I
totality. It's
love that
going to
you said that
change.
because so many people are like, "Don't look at it. It's
No,
evil.
you
It's
need
gonna
to.
break." Like, and we had a pool party and played every like eclipse, like Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie, whatever. Like, it was so fun. So
Yeah,
there's so many people though that's like, it's the end of the United States. The devil's coming back. I'm like, oh god,
no.
no, it's not. The devil's already here, guys.
Yeah, no. I'm all for basking in the eclipse. I purposefully did not bask in the 2017 one, and I will say, wow, life has like thrown me around since then. Trust me. And this one I will be basking in as and honoring it as much as I possibly can, appreciating it, grateful for it. It's gonna change the time too. So you can look up the time, like when is it gonna be total? And it's gonna be very, very visible for like a few hours. But the total point, at least on my time zone, Pacific time, is gonna be 11:21 a.m. So what, 2:21
Yeah,
p.m.
my time. Yeah.
Your time, right? But it kind of does vary a little bit. So look it up. But uh yeah, please like appreciate it. Go outside, wear protective eye gear. There's a ton of stuff on that. I did a media story actually. If it's up, I'll put it in the show notes for like ways you can actually like look at it in a healthy way so you don't burn your retinas off. Um, it's ruled by Mars. This eclipse being in Aries. Mars is in Pisces. Weird place for Mars to be. Trust me, I got Mars and Pisces in my natal charts. And Mars, it's like neutral territory for Mars. Honestly, it doesn't really mind it, but Mars is very close to forming in conjunction with Saturn in Pisces at this point. Saturn does not really like Pisces too much. It's got very little to do with Pisces energy. And Saturn and Mars are the malefic planets. So, you know, the ruler of this new beginning is like got a harshness to it. The good side of it, I would say, is like it does indicate a very good willingness to like listen to your intuition, very Pisces, tapped in, and very determined with Mars and Saturn coming together, determined to overcome limitations, firming up structures where you need to, like creating healthy boundaries too.
Mm-hmm.
So Megan's very familiar with Aries energy. She's got some killer Aries energy in her chart. Aries
Hey,
is
my
I am, you know.
well, but I'm a Pisces sun, and then I have the Aries Mars and
Yeah.
Aries Venus. So that's
Yeah,
yeah.
you're gonna feel it for sure. You're gonna
But I
very much
know.
feel it. Yeah, dude.
I'm not gonna
Um,
lie, I'm a little nervous.
I know.
My
Me
butthole is a little
too.
puckered.
I know. Me too. I know. The Mars Saturn conjunction is going to be happening like on my natal Mars and North Node in
And Saturn
Pisces.
rules, like I'm a Capricorn rising. So Saturn rules, like a side note, I told someone the other day, I've been listening to you long enough now that like I've been able to like, when you hear people like they're learning languages but
Yeah.
they don't study it, but it starts to click. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, my brain's expanding. Like because some certain things I was
Good.
looking at a chart, I was like, oh, I can't translate it yet, but I was like, I understand. Like I understand now what this means
Oh my God, I
organically, which
love
was
it.
kind of cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Only took been talking to you multiple times a week for 3 years. For 4 years.
Like immersion therapy, that's it's okay. I suck at languages. I'm shocked I picked up the language of astrology as quick as I did, to be honest. I was terrible at Spanish and
Faded.
yeah.
I do love
Um,
the themes though. I do love an I
yeah,
am.
dude.
I
Talk about
love my
them.
affirmations. I am. I
Yeah.
am. Yeah. So all my people who I have on affirmations, time to hunker down, booze.
Yeah. This is a fated, destined new beginning related to identity, which is I am. So you're asking, who am I? Like at the same
Yeah.
time. And that's changing. Your concept of the self is changing massively. Um, any Aries related energy is up for a new beginning. So you're going to want to look out for things like courage or a false sense of bravery, right? Confidence or a false sense of it. Are you overdoing it? Any self empowerment, authenticity, trying new things. You don't want to
Mhm.
be impulsive or too reactionary. Risk taking can be a good thing, to be quite honest. But again, I would say in general, you want to take a risk if that pathway presents itself to you, not just like taking
Oh,
risks
God. Yeah.
willy-nilly over here, right? Very adventurous energy, but a tendency to not consider other people's feelings because it's I am. Who the fuck are
Yeah.
you? Like,
Mhm. Which has
so be
always
careful.
has got that's when I don't consider other people's feelings, when I'm like present, like when I'm going into a new project, that's when I'm just like, get with the fucking program. Like, what's the
Yeah,
problem here? So have your feet on the ground. Make
please.
your feet on the ground while you're flying the kite. Don't
Yeah,
go wind surfing. Don't go, like your feet are on the ground while you're flying the kite. Don't what's that sport with the wind sailing? Yeah, like everything's on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Feet.
Yes. And I'm glad you said that too, because, like I was saying, there's a lot of water and earth energy. So there's the gravity bound element to it. So there is such a groundedness going on this month, or being like asked of you this month. The other thing though is there is a lot of Aries energy too. Aries is fire, right? Fire on the ground can cause some destruction. So you do want to be very careful with how you're wielding
Mhm.
your energy this month for sure. All right. So that's what I want to say about that. Eclipses happen. We get two of them every 6 months. The first one was March 25th. That was a full moon in Libra. This one's a new moon in Aries. Big one. Again, the Aries one is probably going to be the most potent for that we're going to have for a while. But they initiate big new 6 month storylines, definitely. But I would say when that eclipse is crossing over geographically, like I feel like I'm still feeling the effects of that 2017 one that I
I just love that you said go
chose to
outside and
miss.
bask in
Yeah.
it because been getting sent so much stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not. Don't shy away from this. This is not.
Hmm.
I just hate the interpretations, especially there was something I followed. I saw something from a dude who is into Vedic astrology, and I was like, way to fearmonger, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and like I'm trying to be real about this month. I hate fear mongering, so I really am not trying to make anybody afraid of this month either. But like, yeah, I think it's sort of like, I mean, in ancient times, even the gods of like destruction, people would still pay respect, right? It's just about you could be terrified out of your mind. Your life could be a total disaster on April 8th. Get your ass outside, appreciate that eclipse, allow it to exist. It's existing with or without you, so let it be with you.
If the cartel can call a truce over the Dragon Ball, did you hear about
Oh,
that?
I
About the
saw that. What the
they all
fuck?
have Lana Del Rey on their guns too because of because of the spells and that she's a witch.
How
And then
funny.
they were like, I didn't know anime was so big. You learned something new. Okay, so like just
Yeah.
be on the ground, ready to roll, be open, have an optimistic attitude because
Yeah.
whatever is for you. And if something is supposed to leave, it will. What can you control?
Hmm.
Yourself.
Yep, 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 yep. And again, really, we've been in this since mid-March, like March 11th, about like officially eclipse season began. So you might have already been dealing with things coming and going, like in March. So these themes are already active. It's just the eclipse is exact on April 8th. All right. So then after that, at the end of the month, April 23rd, we got a full moon in Scorpio.
You
Guess
gotta
what? The
be
moon
shit.
doesn't love Scorpio. So awesome. This is great. It's
You know what
like
April 23rd is too? That's
you're
my sober anniversary.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's a good one because
Yeah.
Scorpio will have you looking at your shit and like this is a full moon. You might actually have a very fulfilling feeling at this. This is not the moon doesn't actually inherently hate any sign. It's a little uncomfortable in Scorpio because it wants to express its feelings, and Scorpio is a little walled up when it comes to emotional matters, as we fucking know, dude. God damn it. God fucking damn it, man. Um there's like so much I want to say that I can't.
I know.
You know. Okay, so this is also a kind of like very potent scorpionic energy because at a full moon, um, the moon and the sun are opposing each other. Both of them are going to be making a very close square, which is a 90-degree angle, a harsh like T-bone effect to Pluto. Pluto's the modern ruler of Scorpio. It's a very subconscious energy going on. Technically, Mars is the ancient ruler. I think it's a more potent ruler to talk about, but Mars is coming into this conjunction with Neptune at this point. Very, very shady energy there. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but the ruler is very being deceived is probably the best way to put it. Neptune
No, you're not
will
doing that to the
deceive.
king. Oh, no, no.
Yeah. So you want to be careful. Like even there's like with Scorpio and Pluto involved, and the subconscious energy, repressed memories, fears being buried, coming to the surface, you want to make sure you're not deceived by your own like conditioning,
Delusions.
your own limitation. Yeah, like there really can be a
Oh.
delusional energy here that gets the best of you. Themes with this, codependence, all scorpionic themes are at play.
Mhm.
That's money, resources too, because it's really, the sun's in Taurus at this point. The moon's opposing it in Scorpio. Both signs are signs of money.
Can't be talking about Scorpios without intimacy and sex, though.
Yeah, dude.
Like
No, that's huge. Huge. Like breakthroughs occurring in that part
I love
of
that.
your life. Realizations there. Yeah, for sure. It can be like and like if you've had like issues in that area, culmination point at a full moon. Like there can be a release now of this problem, right? Or you could have a
Mm.
something like a click, right? Scorpio's the detective. It's like you uncover that clue that was like the missing piece
Oh,
that just makes everything
love
make
that.
sense. And you're like, whoa, that's why I've been afraid here, and now you're ready, now that you know and have the awareness, you're ready to let it go. Scorpio
Pro-
also rules. Oh, what?
I said probably like be careful if your neighbor who you suspect is a swinger invites you to a new party, unless you're
Yep.
open to a new party
Yeah. Again,
and
there's
you
like the
want to
deceptive energy.
experience a guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you got to know, you got to be prepared for like some things to not be what they seem, basically. Um, in,
Behind door number 4. It's like, oh
yeah.
no.
For sure, for sure. There is like freaky deaky, like taboo and occulty energies at play here as well. Like Scorpio does rule the guilty pleasures too. So it's like those like hidden things that you're into that you don't tell everybody you're into, It's like a
Sorry, telling
secretive
people
part
y'all
of
are into
us.
feet, that you got your little feet fetishes.
I know, but I was actually just talking to some people about that and how I'm like, that is like the most common fetish that people have. And it's like, is that even taboo anymore now? Like, it's so
Yeah.
weirdly common for people to be into feet for some reason.
Because fetish people never bother anyone. They really don't. They're so,
No.
I mean, unless you're doing something naughty, not even naughty, bad, illegal, and I don't want to say it, but like, like if you're but most of the time, a fetish person, they like what they like and just let them be, let them live.
Yep. No, totally. Yeah, let them. They're gonna thrive at this and probably be in a great mood. If you're the one not acting on impulse and not acknowledging your repressed shit, you're gonna have the problem at this full moon for sure. At a baseline, I think the full moon in Scorpio, April 23rd, is primarily about healthy expression, discovering, realizing what is healthy expression of your repressed feelings, fears,
Mm-hmm.
memories. Okay.
All right. Now we got planets changing sign.
Yep, four of them. Again, the sun one doesn't like totally count because it changes signs every month, but whatever. So do Venus and Mercury though, typically. Anyway, so April 4th, I'm gonna like breeze through these a little quicker. I don't want to like spend too much time on them, but they're important. Um, April 4th, Venus enters Aries. You got this in your natal
I
chart.
was
How do
about to
you
say,
experience
I'm
your
like, I'm
Venus
gonna
in
be feeling
Aries?
myself.
Yeah,
Like,
you will.
yeah, because you said before, like I'm having my Venus returning home, like so
Yeah.
Mars and Venus. So all right,
Yep.
well if y'all see me out and about acting
Yeah.
fly, you know what's up. But grounded, grounded.
But grounded. Yeah, you don't let that ego get the best of you, dude. Like your self-concept can't be too flossy.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Flossy.
Yeah.
Excellent word. Have not heard it in a while.
Thanks.
Nice job
Thank
incorporating
you.
it back in. Fucking
Thank you.
flossy.
Love it. I know I'm blessed. Shit. Um, so Venus, planet of relationships, entering the sign of Aries, the individual, very
Hmm.
weird energy as well. So there
Yeah.
can be like a lot of passion brought into relationships for sure, and like a great like I don't know, impulsive expressions of love and in relationships. A
Lean
lot
in,
of
guys.
heated moments too. Yeah, lean into it if you're feeling it productively and positively and you feel like it's consensual.
Yes.
But otherwise, there can also be like a lot of need to create space from other people during this time. Like it doesn't mean you're cutting people off, but it's more like I respect like the space I get within this relationship, and people coming into a better version of themselves, I think, like being in and having the
Not as
courage to be
codependent.
yourself.
Not as
Yes.
codependent.
Yes, absolutely. Very important. There can also be like weirdly with this like a competitive like rivalry feeling. So like if you and someone else in your office are up for like the same promotion, like you could actually be like feeling that drive like crazy or something like that,
Yeah, fuck you, Barbara. This is mine.
You always say Barbara, and it's so funny because it's my mom's name. So I'm like, Mom, if you're
Oh no,
listening,
Barbara, we love you.
nobody's
Sorry.
talking about you.
I was talking about you,
Don't
Barbara.
worry. It is also, it's very good for being driven to look your best. People might be working out more, working on themselves, feeling like
Yeah.
making bolder decisions about appearance, right? And feeling like you're standing
Ooh.
out a little more.
Now, quick note. So that's happening, but we also have Mercury in retrograde, which we'll get to
Dude, I
later.
know.
But like, we don't really like, aren't you supposed to like maybe buy a new lipstick, but don't like cut off your long dark hair and bleach it? You know, like
Yeah.
let's like get a consultation
Yeah.
to see about that.
Or you might like be planning these big changes, right? You're feeling the need, Venus and Aries, for this like
Okay.
massive like appearance overhaul or something, but Mercury's going to help you take the steps to plan it out first. Maybe you're not making it happen, but you're feeling that energy for sure. Um, then on April 19th, the sun enters Taurus, and so it'll be
We
Taurus
got the
season at this point.
bull. We got
Yeah.
the bull, the first of the earth signs. All
Mm-hmm.
about luxury. They like their nice things.
Mm-hmm.
They're about their money. They're about their silk sheets.
Fuck
They're
yeah, they
about,
are.
like Tauruses are lovely until you piss them off. And then good luck. Have you ever seen a bull
Yeah.
mad? My God.
A bull in a china shop. That's the like crazy side of Taurus nobody talks about. Yeah.
Yeah.
They will
It
break
takes a
shit.
minute, but once you get there, it's like, I mean, my brother's one. I've got several close friends who are Tauruses, and they're the most lovely individuals. But then you get them there, and it's like, well, I hope you. I mean, like,
Hmm.
there's no rage like that, and it's so startling because you're like, my God, like this
Hmm.
slow burn has just arrived, and now it's about to fuck your face.
Yep.
Be careful.
Yep. They can be incredibly stubborn, very resistant to change for sure. And like, yeah, that it, yeah, I think of it like the bull, like just digging its heels into the ground, like I'm not fucking moving. Don't tell me to plow that field. I'm just gonna stand right here and eat my grass.
Thorns,
Like,
you want to get these?
yeah. Um, and with so much, there's fiery energy at play too. It's like the matador. Like, don't be taunting that fucking bull right now. Don't do it. Um, there is like a nice energy though. Like we will be feeling an ability if you're ungrounded the first half of the month, April 19th onward, like you're gonna start feeling like an ability to ground yourself a little more at least. There's like an indulgence happening here. Taurus rules the five senses, the physical world pleasures in general. So indulge your senses, definitely not overdoing it, but indulge. Um, and Taurus is like a peaceful sign. I think that's like also what people want to strive for, especially in the
They're
midst of
so
like
loyal.
there's chaos.
Yeah, they're so loyal, and like if you
Hmm.
think about like bulls as a whole, like a bull, as long as you're not, poking it, they're very
Yeah.
sweet, very
Uh-huh.
kind.
Totally. Um, so then this like bringing chaos into order happens at the next planetary change, which is all the way at the end of the month here. April 29th, Venus enters Taurus. This is great. Like why order is setting in now is because Venus rules Taurus. So all of a sudden these planets are starting to like move into spaces that they're more comfortable in. By this point, the massive transits, the eclipse, and something else we're about to talk about are done. So we're really finding an adjustment and like a stability coming in with Venus and Taurus. I love it. Very good for relationship stability. Um, Taking romance matters very like smooth, like you're not in a rush to make things happen. You're savoring the moments with other people, and just with the things that you love the most. Like Venus and Taurus for me it's kind of like similar to Venus and Cancer in this way, where it is all about like these are my favorite things, like and like that's what I want to surround myself with. You know what I mean? Um, a natural movement can happen here too. Like it's very much reminds me of like that no makeup movement that Alicia Keys started, or people
Mhm.
choosing to go vegan. Venus and Taurus are really related to food, so things like that, like cleaning up yourself and like you're not as into processed things, I guess. Um, Self-worth and self-value as well. A lot of self-love energy with Venus and Taurus. Again, with money and finances too, like trying to get more realistic and pragmatic about budgeting and things like that. But also with that indulgence factor at play, you want to be careful about not overindulging. Like Depending on your chart, it can be a good time to make like a really good big expense, but it also might not be. Like this could be like somebody who's like going crazy on what is it? HVC? Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, am I thinking of
Hospital.
that right? The right thing? Yeah, that
Well,
or like just like
right,
getting buyer's
relax with
remorse,
Amazon Prime. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
put your fingers down. Yeah.
yeah. Shopping therapy could really do you dirty here. But otherwise I really like it. It's a very peaceful, grounded, devoted energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, Mars enters Aries, the
Woo.
sign it rules. So again, like this order coming into the picture finally, and we're going to experience a lot of that order in the months to come for sure. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, things really are going to even out, I promise. Um, so this is great. Like Mars and Aries is all about action, initiative. It rules your willpower. And so you're like following your will more, like harnessing the willpower more. Very confident energy too. We got
Mm-hmm.
swagger coming in here, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Another good word, flossy swagger. Yeah, this is that's so all Aries.
yeah, totally. Yeah. Um, this can also enhance that competitive spirit energy, but it can be healthy competition. Mars and Aries is like the ultimate athlete type of energy here.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be assertive in a good way, but aggressive in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Great for working on the physicality, the physical self.
Mm-hmm.
But also like very headstrong. Like Aries and Mars are literally related to the head. So you've got that like heady feeling here of like I am deciding very quickly on things that I want to do and I'm gonna fucking go after it. Like real
I
perseverant,
love it.
like, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, be careful
Yeah.
with your impulsivity, be careful with restlessness with this. Like there can be a
Mm-hmm.
burnout or exhaustion that sets in if you're taking on too much.
Mm-hmm.
There's fiery energy at play here. Fire's best when it's channeled in a specific direction, you know. But I will say with this, I know it's at the very end of the month, so really there's going to be more at play in May.
So your whole month has been burned down, perhaps, or perhaps not, different aspects of your life, but just know that May and June are pretty freaking sweet. So,
Yes, yeah, you're building
yeah.
on that new world, right? Like with
Hmm.
that giant fell, but now you got a bunch of remains to make something new with here. Um, yeah, and I would start things after April 30th. I would, especially actually that week because well, Mercury retrograde is well, oh, you only get a couple days. Whatever.
Yeah.
I want I don't want to get too into that. Okay, but yeah, beginner's luck energy with Mars and Aries. Love that. All right, so those are the planets changing signs.
Now
Now
we
we got everybody's
go.
favorite fucking topic.
Oh, yes. Once again, for the love of everything, you people, if you're listening here, you should know about Mercury retrograde. Okay. We have well prepared you. If you're a client of mine, if you're definitely a client of Ryan's, you know what to do here. So, like, take the appropriate actions to ensure that it's a smooth Mercury retrograde, particularly in this month.
Yep.
Like this is not the time to be haphazard with your spirit fingers. Make sure that you're sending text to the right people. Make sure that that you're appropriate with your word. You're cautious. Like do especially I have a reckless mouth if you can't tell. So I will definitely be like doubling down. Do I need to say that? Do I need to say it with that tone? Am I in a heightened emotional state where later on the future Megan is going to have to deal with this and not like the
Hmm.
consequences? That's what I've been trying to practice right now. And so, if you're in that heightened state of emotion, take your thin lips and mash them together, and back away from your utensils, your electronics that can send devastating messages, and take some time. Take some time.
100%. This is our first Mercury retrograde of the year, and
Woo.
all of the retrogrades this year are happening in the fire signs. So this one's in Aries. In August, it's in Leo, and then November, December, it's in Sagittarius. So you're going to get the taste of that. Like, what is it like to have Mercury retrograde in fire signs, which again is like vitality and your energy, right? But there can be that exhaustion that happens, the restlessness and reckless feeling. And that is going to be where the mistakes occur. Mercury retrograde is going to fuck you up if you're acting out of exhaustion. If you're acting Aries before thinking Mercury, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
So you got to be really careful there. Misunderstandings, confusion, like all that is at play. Like you're quick. I think of this energy and like all of the retrogrades this year. It's got that energy of like if you're going to like be that person who goes viral for sending out an email accidentally to like all of your customers and the subject line has like an inappropriate word in it, like it's only happening because you didn't sleep the night before or because you're just pissed off for some fucking reason. And so you just hit send too quick, like you didn't hit save. I don't know. But like dumb mistakes, like slow the fuck down. Allow this to like, there's no need to rush in the Mercury retrograde.
Double
Like take,
check if you got to say,
yes.
if you got to sign something, have extra eyeballs on it. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure, like I was helping a buddy out, or a close friend on something, and like there was a grammatical error that was so insane that I couldn't even believe I had made that. Like, what? It was like, what? So just double check. Double,
Yes.
double
Please. Please, please, please double check. And it's on you. It's an Aries. That's just you. So like the mistakes that happen are just you. And it is like a mountain out of a molehill energy, like
check.
a normally small problem. You could fuck it up and make it a giant problem, right? And then you're experiencing that fall. The good things for this, I will say, is revisiting past projects that you kind of like just barely started. Any venture plan or project that you like got underway and then really did not follow through with at all. Those things can come back around and be really great for you. And then it's also good because it's, Aries I am, very good for self-reflection, like looking within, discovering new aspects of who you are, right? Ask that question to yourself, maybe instead of I am, like think like who am I, and like see what answers seem to pop
Who
up.
am I? And also, who do I want to be? Like, yeah, like how can I improve? Ask yourself better questions.
The
Yeah.
three like this, so this retrograde will start on April 1st. No, it's not an April Fool's
April
joke, but it
Fools.
fucking might as well be, right? Go add on more to this shit. So April 1st, it ends on April 25th. I want to say why that's important. And if you know your astrology or you got your birth chart handy or whatever, the degrees are going to be 15 degrees through 27 degrees of Aries that are at play. So if you got planets 15 to 27 degrees of Aries, sit your ass down. Be very careful. Um,
Not me. I got a
yeah.
Taurus.
And on
I'm
April
Megan.
25th, on April 25th, like why this is like kind of an important Mercury retrograde too. Like I don't really care to spend so much time on Mercury retrograde normally,
Uh-huh.
but like on April 25th, when Mercury ends its retrograde, it ends on top of the North Node in Aries. Fate, a fated
Oh.
change of events. So again, and it's at the end of the month. And remember, like I'm telling you again with the order out of chaos. Like there is this feeling of like, damn,
Why
if
am I
that
getting
retrograde sucks.
goosebumps?
I know, right?
So
There's
it's literally this month is so normally I'm like, listen, fate, destiny, I've got very strong opinions about it. But because I think that you really can't create
yeah,
your world. But at the same time, when a certain theme is prevalent non-stop, I'm going to sit down, shut up, and listen to people who are more smarter than me on these topics, and I'm going to take note so I don't end up doing something I don't want to go viral for something crazy
I
like, oh
know.
no, God. Oh no, no,
I
no.
know. Dude, I know. Yeah, so definitely pay attention. April 1st and April 25th. That's called Mercury stationing. Station is when it changes directions. But then there's
Mhm.
also three other really key dates where planets are going to meet up with Mercury. So those three dates really quick are April 11th, the sun will conjoin Mercury. This I like. Okay, this is called
Mhm.
Mercury Cazimi. This is a sudden burst of clarity coming in
Oh,
April 11th. So, especially if you're dealing with any issues or confusion, you might all of a sudden feel like, okay, wait, I have the solution. Like it's a little bit of a like aha moment.
mhm.
And great for revisiting any past issues that you feel like you need to clear up. Like, especially like that's where the solution will lie is related to
Cool.
something that you've been dealing with. April 15th, Mercury retrograde will conjunct Chiron in Aries. Chiron, wounded healer, old hurts can pop up. So you're revisiting things that have like wounded you or painful scenarios. But there can be healing through communication, through talking
Mhm.
about the pain that you've been through, and turning pain into inspired action, right? Doing something
I love
about
that.
it,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. Very empowering. And
Just
like really,
reminder all the bad things that like life is about struggle, like,
Uh,
so it's like when you lean into the struggle, you're going to meet yourself and you're going to find like beauty throughout this chaos.
yes, 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 exactly. And then finally, April 19th as well, Mercury retrograde will conjoin Venus, which can definitely have you revisiting past relationships. Exes coming back into the picture, like that kind of vibe for sure. But also, you might feel compelled to reach out to an ex at this point. I don't go, you might.
Be like,
Um,
yo, I dropped the ball. I just want to apologize. Just
yeah,
be clear on your intention.
yes,
No
please, good
nefarious.
God,
Yes. No
good God,
nefarious actions.
please.
Yes, be clear. Don't be because you're lonely or you're horny or whatever. Don't like, no, will me reaching out be beneficial to
Yep,
this process? Or am I acting like a fucktoid, a fuck boy, fuck girl, fuck they? And I'm just,
yeah.
no, we're not, we're acting with intention.
Yes, please. And again, even though it's with Venus, it is in Aries. I am. It may have to do with someone else, but you may resolve the issue within yourself. Like, it's so funny. Anna Tonk, um, who was our first ever guest on the podcast. If you haven't gone and listened to that episode way back when, almost a year ago, um, she just posted something this morning that was like basically saying like, closure isn't something that's often given to you by someone else. It's something you got to like figure out on your
Give
own.
it to yourself. And it's a
Yeah.
misnomer. It's like, oh, I need closure. I need to talk. No, you don't. You're
Yeah.
never going to get what you need from someone else.
Yeah. It's
Like
nice
it
when it
could,
happens, but it's rare. It's very rare.
yeah. Like
Very
you
fucking
give
rare.
closure to yourself.
Yeah. 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 Or like if someone asks for closure from you, can you do the right thing and provide them with that? Like it's nice to be able to give somebody some fucking
Mm.
closure, right? So think about that. But it is good for forgiveness and reconciliation with other people too, if there have been past issues. But again, you could be doing
Yeah.
it just within yourself. All right. So that's the Mercury retrograde. Thank God. And now this
Ooh.
is a theme within the larger theme. Like this, I also was like thinking about titling the whole month, but like it fits specifically for this theme, or this transit that's happening. This is the biggest transit of the year. I just have to say that.
Oh,
Like, been waiting on this, been talking about this since last year. It's a biggie, biggie, biggie. Okay. I got reasoning for calling it this. It's called Lightning Strikes the Tree. Okay. For real. So this is also okay, it's exact on April 20th, but the
420,
energy
baby.
is so potent, the planets involved move so slow that it is active a month before, a month after. Okay.
Oh,
So
damn.
it's just all encompassing this whole fucking month. So everything we've already discussed feels like way more than what happens in a normal month. But then you got this added on top of it. God damn it. So it's Jupiter and Uranus meeting up at 22 degrees of Taurus. Big fucking deal. It is. It
But
really is.
Jupiter is the planet. It's like I like to Santa Claus,
Yep.
like
Love that.
benevolent. Hey, baby,
Yep.
let me give you some gifts and blessings. Uranus, not Uranus. What does I always forget what the job of that mighty planet is. Can you please remind
Yeah.
me?
It's a lot of things, but it has to do with very sudden, unexpected disruptions. For better
Oh.
or worse. On a positive side, I view this like I've been talking about this with clients in a couple different ways. The lightning strikes the tree is going to be the way that I'm going to mainly focus on, but one way on a very positive end, because Jupiter's there, right? You have the Santa Claus moment of like there's goodness here, there's faith, there's
Yeah.
opportunity, there's abundance
Yeah.
here. But disruptions, sudden, shocking, unexpected events happening in your life never feel fun. It's always jarring, right? So this also is kind of like that vibe of like you get home from a long day of work, flip on the lights, and then 50 people are in your apartment yelling surprise, and it's a surprise party for you. Very fucking jarring, right? But then you're like, oh wait, this is great. Like this, everybody's here for me. Like, yeah, love it. It's like that's like the most mundane way I put this energy, and positively. Otherwise, I've been talking about it like lightning striking a tree. And I know that this is so weird. Like, this really is a very weird way of putting it, but trust me, it's going to make sense. Uranus rules lightning in astrology. Which is very unexpected. You never know where lightning is going to hit, right? It also rules the concept of earthquakes. Taurus literally rules the earth and things that grow from the earth, like trees. So Uranus is the planet we use to predict earthquakes, which are notoriously unpredictable. Go figure, Uranus is the unpredictable planet, right? So
Mhm.
I don't like to even conceptualize specific scenarios with clients when Uranus is involved because I feel like when I say this type of thing might happen for you, the universe is like, oh, well, you just conceptualized that. So now
I
that's not going to happen,
go the
dumbass.
opposite direction. Watch
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's a predictable event. So, like, I don't like to get too specific. So I talk about it more allegorically, which is where
Hmm.
this lightning strikes the tree feeling comes in. So basically, imagine like you had like this beloved tree in your front yard growing up, and you just like, it's where your tree house was, and like, or in your backyard, whatever. And you just love this fucking tree. You got all these memories, all these photos with it. Lightning strikes that tree and that tree tumbles down out of fucking nowhere. The tree's down, right? Because trees don't float when they get cut down. This is a gravity fucking month. It's
Gravity.
tumbling down.
Gravity.
The giant fucking tree is
Kaboom.
falling down. Okay. Yes. And so it's frustrating. You're like, oh my God, no, like this happened out of nowhere. This was like such a strong, massive, big, lovely tree.
I hear
It
you.
sucks, right? It can be a very upsetting disruption. But then you go about your day, getting ready for bed at night. You're in your second story of your house, if you're lucky enough to have multiple stories, whatever. Normally, when you look out your window, you see all those leaves, right, on that tree. Now the tree's gone. But in the distance, suddenly you see all the mountaintops and you've got this massive, beautiful view that you never even fucking knew you had. It cleared the way for something else. And Taurus,
Mhm.
ruling resources, ruling currency, money, Jupiter showing there's goodness in this fall is saying, okay, well, now because you got this massive, beautiful fucking view, the value of your home has just increased by X amount. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So it's
yeah.
like there's goodness here.
The
It
entrepreneur in me
sucks.
then was like, then you're gonna chop that wood, you're gonna
Yeah,
sell it,
bitch. Yes.
you know.
Taurus rules your resourcefulness. Fuck yeah, you should. That tree is now yours to do what you want with. Create a
Yeah.
new world like the giant that fell,
Mhm.
right? Like quite
Yeah.
literally do something with this shit that gets disrupted, the lightning that strikes the fucking tree.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm gonna like talk about like a couple really interesting stories that I think are really cool here. But like overall themes just in general is sudden breakthroughs, innovations, epiphanies in things related to Taurus stuff, which is like finance, agriculture, environment, food, sustainability. There can be social and cultural revolutions. Uranus is a very revolutionary planet related to like wealth inequality, land ownership, resource distribution. Expect these things. And like personally, but also collectively. Okay. So, like, here's a collective example: economic shifts, financial revolution,
Mhm.
cryptocurrency. Has anybody noticed? I don't really invest in crypto anymore, but like I still have like alerts that come on my phone.
Oh, it's
Bitcoin
not.
just hit a new all-time high. Like, did anybody miss that? Like, I mean, if you're in crypto, shit, I wish I wouldn't have. I knew it was, and I've been predicting this shit, by the way, since last year that April's gonna come. We're almost there right now, and the crypto boom is gonna happen again. Like, I don't know, but now I've just conceptualized that, and now it's gonna tank, right? Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know where it's just gonna like go from that all-time high and just nosedive because
No,
it's
it's funny
gravity.
you
It's going
say that.
down.
I
I
was
don't fucking know.
talking with this client of mine who's a big conspiracy theorist, and he was talking about the Vietnam dong and something about another currency that I needed to
Oh.
invest in. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, Uranus has a way of digitizing things. With Taurus ruling, Taurus, it's a stable sign, right? That's why I also say tree, because like with Taurus, things want to just grow big and strong where they're planted, right? But Uranus
Hmm.
fucks that shit up. It fucks up the status quo that Taurus loves. It doesn't want change, but Uranus forces change. But goodness, Jupiter in the change here. So, but Uranus has a way of digitizing, and it's very technological, very advanced, like quantum leaps forward in some area. So that's why, like, the financial institutions that have always existed, that we've very much relied on, could just get struck down. And then this need to digitize our resources, cryptocurrency, can really come into the picture in a very important
Just
way, you
be
know?
open. Yeah,
Yeah.
be open.
Yes, yes, yes. Any environmental stuff is definitely going to be at play here. Like anything related to the natural world is at play, or anything you view like materialistically or related to your resources that you hold a value is at play. And what you value itself may suddenly change. You know, you may have just
Mhm.
bought this brand new convertible a year ago, and all of a sudden you go to get in your car and you're like, the fuck did I do that for? I don't need this crazy. Give me a
I'm
Prius. Get me a
noticing a lot of people like so I just turned 39, but a lot of people like our midlife crises are happening now.
yeah. This yeah. It's like
Now, yeah,
late
now.
30s, early 40s.
Yeah,
Yeah, right in
like it's
there.
not the 50s anymore because like
Yeah.
it's like no, it's going on
That's
now.
That's exactly it. It's the sudden, it's because the midlife crisis is the Uranus opposition. It's the sudden I wake up one day and you're like, everything needs to change. I'm running out of time. I need to make this big move. I'm never going to be able to make again in my life. Like that's the
It is
feeling.
like why like people hate there's certain people who hate when I talk about the concept of mortality and how you need to face your mortality every day because
Ooh,
then you're going to actually do something. And they're like,
right.
no. And it's like
Yeah.
unsettling. And of course, I'm a button pusher. And I'm like, why is we're all going to die? Like,
Mhm.
like I can get, hey, I'm a psychic. Definitely going to happen. You're going to die. Like, so face your mortality to make you to enact change.
Yep.
Like use all this for your benefit, peeps.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, please.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so why I also chose this theme is because it's so literal in some cases with astrology. I love it. Jupiter is Zeus, the god
Mhm.
of lightning. Hello.
Damn
But
right.
in astrology, Uranus rules lightning and electricity. That's also where there's like a fiery kind of energy coming into play, right? Like lightning can
Mhm.
literally start a fire too in the natural world. And I am now going to go and specify that tree as an oak tree specifically. I think
Mhm.
it's really interesting. Oak trees are prone to lightning strikes more than most other trees because they have high water content. Um, and because of the fact that they tend to be the tallest living things around in that environment.
Interesting. I
So,
did not
oak
know.
trees. Yeah. And now let me give you two just examples, stories, quick stories here of an oak tree getting struck by lightning, essentially. The first one is the Royal Oak incident, which is interesting because, right, astrology is patterns and the way that things emerge, not exactly the same over time. It's never exactly the same. It's never exactly as we predict it again. But it's interesting that this is about the Battle of, it's called Worcester, but it looks like Worcester, but it's called Worcester. The Battle of Worcester from King Charles II in England. It's this big story from England. And go figure right now, we got a big fucking story out of England, like a very, where's Kate? Where's Kate Middleton? At least as of recording on March 14th right now, we have no fucking idea where Kate Middleton is. Where is she? Have
I
you
think
seen all this
she
stuff?
either yeah, I did. I think she's either gotten a facelift or she's trying to or she had the surgery, but I also think that she probably found out like William and his balding ass
His,
bitch face is like she's like I will not be your mother. Do you understand? You're
well,
having an affair. Cut
yeah,
that lady off. I've heard, like, and either
yeah,
that affair mistress is pregnant or something, but she's like, listen, I will be the queen and I'm not going to play ball with y'all. And I think
yeah.
she's just handling it differently. Go,
Who
boo.
knows?
Get
Who
it.
knows? Yes. And I think it's going to be in April when we find this out. Like, I don't,
Well, that's what
they,
I said too. They're like, we ain't, she's going to come up for air
yeah.
April 30th, but, or
But
she
it
had like
feels,
a tummy tuck or something, but she was like, listen, I'm going to get hot. I'm the queen. Do you understand? Do you
yeah.
understand? I will not play.
Yes. Yeah. That's it. It's just interesting to me. And I feel like it'll be a sudden, that like kind of lightning strikes moment of when all of a sudden that reemergence happens. It's
And
going to
if
be,
that happens, like if what I think is happening, then Harry and Meghan are going to be like, what's up, redemption?
there's so much. Yeah. Right. Right. So it's just
Which I think
interesting.
that's why Harry and William, because Harry's like, how dare this? You do this? Like, what happened to our mother?
Mhm.
Like, mm.
No, come on. What the hell? How are you going to screw on Kate Middleton? Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway. So this old story though of King Charles II. Okay, basically it's just that he was defeated in the Battle of Worcester. I keep saying that, but it's Worcester. And basically he hid, according to him, this is like kind of like folklore, but like this is
Yeah.
very well documented. Um, he hid in an oak tree to like escape the parliamentarian forces. Okay,
Hmm.
that tree specifically became an emblem of his monarchy's restoration coming back. So there are accounts now of like descendants of that specific oak tree being struck by lightning, and that's interpreted when those oak trees are struck by lightning, it's interpreted as an ominous sign regarding the monarchy's stability or the nation's future. So
Oh,
I'm just like, will there be actual lightning, like storms happening somewhere in
in
April? And
England,
it's like,
England's just like
that's what there's a
straight up.
mass storm, and then Kate Middleton emerges with her crazy fucking story. I don't fucking know, man. Curious to see. We'll see.
Oh my God, what she like if she emerges like somebody needs to make a good Photoshop of her behind it or like coming
There is
out in front of a tree
dude.
with
Maybe I'll make it. Maybe that'll be the cover of this. We literally check our Instagram. We'll see. I might totally poorly Photoshop Kate Middleton in front of a lightning tree. Okay, so then the other one is Zeus and the oak tree. Go figure. So this is just more mythological, but it's interesting. So Zeus often communicated his displeasure or approval through signs in the
I know.
natural world.
Divine displeasure could be the most. That's in your notes here. I next time I have a problem with someone, I'm going to be like, I am here to communicate my divine
Fine.
displeasure
Well,
with you right now.
well, I mean, Zeus technically was divine, you know? I mean, I guess we all are, aren't we?
I'm no longer angry or upset. I am here to communicate my divine displeasure with what you
Yes.
have done.
And then you got to get your fucking like lightning bolt, strike them, bitch. Yes. Okay. So basically, he would like the oak tree in was very symbolic and important. So when an oak tree was struck by him, it was often interpreted as a very strong and direct message from Zeus himself, and it conveyed
Mhm.
like his power and will. It always depended on what actual circumstance was happening in the natural world at that time. Whether it was a positive thing, sometimes it's like, fuck yeah, my little bitch is down there, like lightning. But sometimes
Yeah.
he's like, stop fucking around, bitch, lightning, you know?
Yeah.
So it just depends. But it's a very big symbol when lightning strikes a tree. So I just think that those are like interesting little
Mhm.
stories. And it is always viewed as like a time where you need to like if lightning is happening or the feeling, right? This is all symbolic. Okay. If lightning strikes a tree in your life, what is going on in your life? It's a need to pay close attention or to heed the warnings
Mhm.
or appreciate gratitude. This was actually why I was like, I need to be
Oh,
grateful right now.
yeah.
Appreciate the favors and fortunes that are happening in your life. So that lightning strikes epiphany, sudden disruptive moment, be very conscious, which you can only be if you're fucking on the ground, right? Like
Yeah.
Zeus, what a giant coming
Ooh.
down. Um, okay, so now this last section, we don't need to go like crazy in depth on this. I just but like there literally is like not a date in April, like where something crazy is not fucking happening. So I listed a bunch of other important dates, especially as they relate to the outer planets, because those are going to be more impactful, longer term collective themes. So let's just start with Saturn. This is just one thing. April 10th, Mars and Saturn are going to conjoin in Pisces. Okay, this is 2 days after that eclipse.
Mhm.
The two malefic planets coming together. This can be very good for discipline, perseverance, resilience, being
Especially in
realistic.
Pisces, because Pisces like, hey y'all, let's
Yeah,
relax. Like, let's
yeah,
stop it.
yeah. It's
Like,
super fluid.
yeah.
Yeah, so there can be like a nice structure coming in here. Like let's firm some shit up. It can be very good for that. And self mastery can be really good. Setting very like realistic milestones, goals for yourself can be
Yeah.
very good. This is going to be a when two planets come together like this, it's the start of a new cycle until they meet up again. This is gonna not, they're not gonna meet up again for like 2.5 years. So this is about like
Oh.
where do you need to firm up some boundaries, create healthier, you know, goals for
One thing about
yourself.
boundaries too is that you have three demographics with boundaries that everyone needs to remember. One, you have the people pleasers, where you have no boundaries. What happens with people pleasers though is that then they go from no boundaries to extremely strict boundaries. Also, these are my people who will like you look at them the wrong way and they're like, "We're done. I'm cutting you off." And it's like, "What the fuck are you talking? Like, relax. We don't in the middle, people coming back to grounding. Okay. Like
Yep.
in the middle is what you don't want to have zero boundaries and you don't want to have someone who's just like looking at you. And then you're like, you know what? You're done. You know what?
Yes.
We're done. No. So like in the middle, you want to be in the
Yeah.
middle when it comes to boundaries.
Yes, I agree. And also like synthesize it like with everything else going on right now. Mercury's retrograde at this point. Like you got to be careful with how you're communicating boundaries as well. There's also all this new energy opening up. When you're setting boundaries, it's always easier with new people. Are you meeting new people? Are new people coming into your life? Are you communicating this
Um,
new, healthier version of yourself with people who already know you as a looser version of who you are? they're not as like understanding of like you setting boundaries typically, unless they're a very emotionally
Mm-hmm.
intelligent, advanced person who's gonna like stick with you through your, new iteration. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to set boundaries with old people. Um,
Yeah.
okay. And then Neptune is gonna get like hit as well, in a good ways. Overall, a good way and a bad way. Okay. April 3rd, Venus conjoins with Neptune in Pisces. Okay. Neptune's the modern ruler of Pisces. Venus is called exalted in Pisces. We get the best of Venus when she's in Pisces. So this is actually a
She
very, very
loves
sweet
it.
energy.
She loves it. Yeah.
hmm As much as she's going to feel herself when she
Chloe
gets into Aries.
dresses. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's really fucking feeling herself in Pisces at this point. Um, Very like it rules like old Hollywood glam. It's that like idealistic view of life and love and like rose-colored glasses, to be honest, which can look sweet, but you got to be careful with that idealism energy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Again, with the groundedness, like this can be like Venus brings gifts, quite literally. Neptune is dreams. Things
Yeah.
like really incredible fucking opportunities can happen April 3rd. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh,
like like love of your life could walk in. But
oh shit.
fucking root yourself, like do not get swept up off
Yeah.
your feet here. Like that is the energy of Venus conjunct Pisces, is being swept up off your feet into fantasy and delusion. So you can use this while staying grounded in very healthy ways.
Mm-hmm.
Express your love like very vulnerably. You can
Yeah.
become a very spiritual person or create spiritual connectivity with other people. It's both of these planets and Pisces have to do with the arts. So any music, art, poetry, dance,
Mm-hmm.
definitely at play. This is great for vision boarding. We're coming out of or we're
Oh,
in.
yeah, because we don't want to do the new moon manifestations, but Aries, the new moon is the best time to do your vision board for the year.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, and
Okay.
technically it's like the Pisces new moon at this point. The Aries new moon is going to then be that eclipse, right? That's a few days
Mm-hmm.
later, 5 days later. But you can
Yeah.
gather your vision boarding materials and things like that. I don't think working on a vision board is going to harm you in an eclipse, but you just need to be very intentional and clear about what you want. But that's also the point of that, like, that's a harmless way of being idealistic. What you put on your vision
Yeah.
board should be fucking idealistic. Just realizing at the same time, if you put Jennifer Aniston on your vision board, you're not going to be Jennifer Aniston. You just want to like emulate something about her, right? um,
I'm not Jennifer Aniston.
yeah.
What the fuck?
um, Very good energy, like positive energy for escapism, like allowing yourself to get whisked away, at least in a little bit of a fantasy world. You want to be careful about it, right? Like overindulgence again can happen with Venus involved. And so you be careful. Pisces rules addictions, so be careful for
Mhm.
going out drinking if you have issues with that. Altered states of consciousness can be incredibly spiritually rewarding, but they can also lead you very astray at this point with Neptune involved. So just be
Ooh,
careful.
yeah.
Moderation. And then on April 28th, Mars conjoins Neptune in Pisces. This I do not love. This is not a great energy in general. I would kind of be careful April 28th. Okay. Again, April 29th and 30th. Nice though. Like that's when the really like big tide is shifting at that point. Orders coming in. But Mars conjunct Neptune, especially because order is kind of setting in at this point. I'm trying to synthesize everything. Like Mercury's direct now. You could feel clear-headed, but actually not be.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's happening. Like, what's really crazy about this is it's happening at the last degree of Pisces, which is the last degree of the entire zodiac. Big fucking deal at this point. Like that's a huge thing that
Mhm.
Neptune and Mars are meeting at the end of the zodiac. This literally equates to things like, and not to scare anybody, but like I would not be on a cruise ship at this point. It equates to people going missing at sea. It equates to wrecks, like shipwrecks. Okay. Like there is like a lost person energy here at play. So like we might hear stories about that shit.
Oh
Water
God.
events causing damage. There could be hurricanes and shit around this point that are like massive. And even in your home, depending on where this is happening. Uh, if you're a Sagittarius rising, for example, then this would be happening in your fourth house of home and family. This would be a time where like a pipe could suddenly burst and like your
I was
apartment's
literally
getting
just thinking
flooded.
that, like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, yeah, definitely that stuff.
Mm-mm.
So, and it's also spiritual warfare. Shout out to our psychic attacks episode. Please go listen to that. That whole event could
Shield
fucking
up,
delude you.
son. Yeah, shield
Yeah,
up.
yeah, shield up,
Don't,
homie.
don't, don't mind me if you hear me clinking down the street because I got every crystal in my goddamn
Yeah,
bra.
totally. Get your black obsidian ready. Um, yeah.
Carnelian activate. Yeah.
Um, it is good though, like for being creative again, like having like very visionary, taking inspired action feels like the way to
Mhm.
put it. Um, be careful about victim mentality, being a martyr, self-sacrifice can be huge here where you're taking actions that
I
you're like,
did this
this
for
is for the,
you.
yeah, ew, fuck
How
that.
dare you, Angela?
Ew. Isn't that
Yeah,
nasty? Like it's
it is.
gross. Like I don't
It
like it, especially with at this point, the next day, Venus enters Aries or Taurus. So it's at the end of Aries, which can be this like impulsive decision without thinking in relationship. And now you're playing the victim because your impulsive, dumbass decision didn't work out the way you wanted it to because you over idealized a little bit. So you got to synthesize all this shit together. So be very fucking grounded in relationship matters at the end of April, please. Um, and don't cut people out of your life. Like this can be impulsive, like
I was
the
just
wrong
thinking, like,
decision to
God,
cut
we are
someone out.
so in sync. There have been so many times where I've been like, you know what? Fuck. I mean, I've gotten so much better at this, but my feeling something has happened. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. And in that moment, I really do feel done, right? And then I do something that is not good. And there's one friend I recently told like where I was done, like, fuck, you know what? I'm taking myself out of this. And I thought I was being so diplomatic. This was a few years ago. And then I sheepishly like came back. Like I might have overreacted. I'm so sorry.
No,
And
that
you don't want to do that, man. It's so, and so, this was prevalent in my behavior before I became self-aware and started to do the work that I did. There, don't do it, man. I mean,
no.
like, thankfully, people have, you know, seen where I was coming from. But God, some people do not have forgiveness in their heart. They do not know how to do it. And you are then at the mercy of you got to you
Yeah,
got to
your
face with what you
regret.
did. Oh
Yeah,
my God. Yeah. I mean,
dude. This is what we were talking about before we hit record. This is
no,
literally
yeah.
what happened with a
Mm,
Scorpio. It, like quite literally in my chart, this was playing out like my Mars was very
yeah.
active at this point. In Pisces, of course, liquor was involved. Go figure. This is why I'm like deciding to be like sober at the moment,
Yeah.
truthfully, because like there was the realization, and a Scorpio doesn't like to forgive. So, and it wasn't just
It's
my
funny. The
fault,
person I
by
had
the
to go
fucking
back
way.
to was a Scorpio, and Scorpio and Leos, man. It took a Leo girl that I had
There is
liked, and
pride
I
there.
did her. Oh boy.
So much
I
pride
mean,
on both. Yeah.
oh, it's now 9. I think I'll be able to see her maybe this weekend. It's been 9 years.
Mm. Well,
I
hopefully
know.
that goes well. That could be a pretty reunion. I mean, it's going to be a full moon in Libra coming up
Yeah.
here, so that can totally be great for reunions.
Yeah, yeah. But just, you fuck with the wrong one, son.
Yeah.
And, like
And
people don't have to have forgiveness in their
yes,
heart.
no, and this is that watery, slippery ass energy. Just slip on it, real easily. The deceptive energy at play here. Like you don't, you don't have control over yourself the way you normally think you do.
Sit down.
I would be sober, please, on April 28th. I would not be going out. I would not be drinking. This is not telling you personal experience here. Don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. It's not worth it. It's going to cause some like long-term ramifications here.
Hmm.
Don't like leave the water running either in your apartment. Like be very careful with anything you're
Double
drinking
check.
liquid wise. Yeah.
Double check.
And I would also say like confusion and deception can occur. So like be very careful with who you're wheeling and dealing with. Look at your bank account, like identity theft. It depends on where this is happening in your chart to be like where is the deception occurring. But like this is where like passwords are stolen, identity
Oh,
theft can
no.
occur. You need to be incredibly intentional with every movement you make so you don't have a slip up, quite literally.
Hmm.
Okay, and then Pluto is also going to get activated. Thank God. April 6th. This is a good one. It's a Venus in Aries is going to sextile Pluto in Aquarius. Very intense relationship developments, but there can be a lot of beautiful insights, the deep rooted insights that happen about you, about someone else, about relationships in general. And this can also be a great
Mm.
financial opportunity on April 6th coming in. So be receptive of that if it opens the door. Um,
Mm-hmm.
April 21st, the sun in Taurus will then square Pluto in Aquarius.
Mm.
Don't love this. This is power struggles, especially in relationship as well. But it could be at work or whatever. Don't engage in that sort of shit. A big resistance to changing. Pluto's a planet of transformation. It really wants you to change. It's April 21st, right? Is the day after the lightning strikes the tree. If you're very resistant to the change that has thrust itself into your life, why? Like, it's not going to work out well for you. There can be such a mental, psychological hurdle with this of like, I cannot accept this huge life change that is kind of being asked of me now. Like, you know better, but you just can't figure out how to make it happen, right?
What is your
Financial challenges too.
intuition saying? What is your intuition saying? And your intuition is not going to be talking in your head, people. That is
No.
anxiety.
Yeah.
It's a feeling, it's a knowingness.
Yep. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Mm.
Um, Chiron also involved. Okay. So much shit. April 8th, the sun is going to conjoin Chiron. I like these, though. Both of these are really nice. April 8th, sun conjoins Chiron. April 21st, Venus conjoins Chiron. These have a lot of healing power, healing potential. Okay. Healing through expressing yourself, being more vulnerable. Again, opening up and like allowing yourself to just be who you are, being
Mm-hmm.
proud of your scars, right, is a huge theme here. I think relationship mending specifically on April 21st when Venus and Chiron
Mm-hmm.
meet up, you can heal greatly in relationship at this point too. But again, right, April 21st is when the sun in Taurus is going to square Pluto. So it could be like this huge mental hurdle of like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why would I forgive this person? Like, you could be really struggling to like overcome that mental block that's like being asked of you right now. Like, fucking
Mm-hmm.
forgive that person for what they did or something, right? But it's also forgiving yourself, self love, self acceptance, huge here. Loving
Mm-hmm.
yourself through no matter what has happened to you. And letting go can also be a big thing here. This is like sort of another moment of like that closure feeling of like you might need to give it to yourself, or you might get it from someone else and then, let it be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, the last planet in the last couple of dates, North Node getting also activated. Okay. April 4th, the sun is going to be conjunct the North Node. And then April 17th, Venus will conjunct the North Node. The North Node in Aries is all about like where the soul's evolution is going, where our collective evolution is going. So it's all about embracing individuality, accepting the twists of fate that are coming in, which seem to be like just pummeling this month. Um, being more courageous. There was probably going to be that feeling of like, I need to step up to the plate. Like, I know I need to make this bold move and being very scared about it at the same time, but like needing to assert yourself in healthier ways.
Yeah.
Specifically on April 17th, it's going to be a little bit more relationship oriented. There could be a lot of relationship karma themes popping up here. Faded interactions. If someone enters your life, like the North Node it's an increase technically. So Venus, meaning other people, and the North Node, it's like someone new enters your life around April 17th. Shit, like get the business card, exchange phone numbers. Like, do not deny that
Be
random conversation
prepared.
that
Be
starts.
prepared.
Yeah, yeah, please. Like, this is destined relationship shifts for sure. For better or worse. Like, and know that if it's for worse, it's actually going to be for better. Like, it really will
Anything
be.
for worse really is for better. It's just the
Yeah,
later
you don't realize
on
it.
you see that it's for better. And no one ever wants to hear that while it's going on. No one's like,
No,
so don't say
God.
that.
Um, there can be like a really big recognition of like the needs of the individuals as well within relationship. Like we think of relationship as this like collective combined entity so much, and it is, but it's created from two individuals, right? And like what does each person need? And those needs are going to be very distinct from each other. So both people need to feel very empowered through them empowering themselves, self-empowerment, but also empowering each other. Even if your paths seem to be diverging, it doesn't mean the relationship needs to end. It just means that the two of you need to be more individualistic, like be brave enough to show up as yourself, not bend over backwards for someone else, not give into people pleasing behaviors,
Mhm.
following the call of your passions. Like, and the other person should love you through that. And if they don't, they might
Peace.
not last. Yeah. And that's kind of what I got to say. The only other thing I think I forgot to say is about that eclipse that's happening on April 8th. It's happening in Aries, new moon, in direct opposition to where an eclipse occurred last year, October 14th, 2023. That one was a very partial eclipse too. Like we could kind of see it in the sky, like some people, it was barely there in LA at least, but it was kind of a cool event. Um, so think back to October 14th or just October in general, really, 2023. What was getting underway? What have you been dealing with since that point, the last 6 months here? There's kind of like a new iteration happening that's asking you to like take a totally different vantage point now, and like a whole new chapter related to this can unfold. So go back through your
I
text
was
messages,
causing
emails.
real chaos that week. I can tell. I know exactly what I was doing, and I was acting. I had done something, and then I was like, "Oh no, what have I done?"
Oh no.
And it was fine, but not going to be taking that course of action again. For
Yeah. Yeah, like you will have learned something, right? You went off on a new path at that point, and this is a different new path, but there's like a related theme going on. You're kind of seeing something from October if you can look back that far, look at text
most of your
messages.
pictures or emails. That's what I
Yes.
like. Pictures, text messages.
Yeah.
What was that? Like that's a great
Journals.
way. Yeah, that's a great way to be like, hey, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Even like if you're a Facebook poster or tweeter,
Hmm.
so anything like that. What were you doing then?
Yes, bitch. Yes. Um, and
Ooh.
that's it. A lot of big
Yeah,
energy
that's it.
coming
That's
down. When
it.
giants fall, bitch. Like I feel like that's a good theme for this month of like it feels so big, it feels so momentous, and it fucking is, okay? But it's about the giant needing to fall because the giant's chaotic. So it's coming down. Order will come in at the very, very end of the month, but like order does come. Trust me, you're gonna enjoy May and June's forecasts a lot more.
I mean, but there's a lot of good in here.
There
Like
is.
there
There
really is a
is.
lot of good. It's just when you hear change or that
Yeah.
scares people, but change is the only
Terrifying.
thing that is
Yeah.
prevalent in life. The only thing,
Yeah, that's where it's
so
like there can be like a magnificent opportunity, like just taking the Jupiter Uranus conjunction, for example. You might out of the fucking blue get hit up by like an old friend who is like, yo, I'm starting a company. I like, would you want to be like our chief marketing officer, but you've spent your life as like a computer coder? And you're like, I know nothing about marketing, but this is offering me like 3 times more money than I make right now. And I know nothing about that industry, but like I'm getting this new path opening here.
yeah.
There's like the goodness, Jupiter, but it is so unexpected, bizarre, out of the blue. That's all Uranus energy, but it can be this really wonderful gift. But you got that Aries energy at play too, which is like beginner's luck. Take that risk if the door opens up, but it feels weird. It feels like I don't know. That's so unusual. That's so different
Be
from what I've known.
practically impractical.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
perfectly,
yeah,
perfect way to put it. Perfect fucking way to put it. I love it.
yeah, yeah. Because yeah. So that's be practically impractical. It's all about. I mean, and let us know how it goes too.
Yeah.
Like email us, hit us up on Insta, whatever, but like let us know how you
Yeah.
fared. I'm
Yes.
curious.
Yes. Also, reminder, send your stories of spiritual awakenings. We need to do our part 2 on that. And 3,
Okay.
maybe.
Mm,
I actually made a bunch of notes planning out like a part 2, part 3 on that. So we'll kind of like revisit that here soon, but please submit any spiritual awakening stories. Reminder, you can
Fabulous.
book both of us. Please
Absolutely.
check
Please
out the
do.
links in the show notes. Get Bismos. Bismos is flourishing. There's so much cool fucking content happening. We opened our membership platform essentially. There is also like a monthly subscription option. I don't know if we're going to keep that, so you might want to get in now on that if you want to. That's like $9.99 a month, I think.
Great.
So maybe like check that out if you're wondering. Otherwise, for a full year of access, it's $99, but you get so much shit in
Mhm.
Bismos right now. Like dead fucking serious. I'm so proud of it. Yeah, that's it.
Well, good luck,
Blessings,
everybody.
blessings to you. Yeah,
Tell people you love them. Lean
yeah,
in. Be
yeah,
practically impractical. Let's get
yeah.
it.
Fuck yeah. Bye.
Bye.